Howdy everybody! Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Monster Hunter World. I'm your host, Nightshade, and in the last episode, we got some side quests done, we captured a Yaku, and we improved the canteen's ingredients. In this episode, we're finally going to be continuing with the story, and if it'll load faster. Okay, come on.
Head to the Wildspire Waste immediately.
There we go. We'll be doing exactly what he says. So that's our agenda for today. Beautiful day. Well, it's always sunny, isn't it? Back at base camp, it's not raining or anything like that. Go ahead and have our standard protein meal, because that's what you want with high damage weapons like hammers. That or just extra stamina. And there we go. Go ahead and manage your inventory a little bit. I should start combining stuff just to see what I can make. Okay, were you okay with that? Didn't take too long. What was that scholar thinking? Yeah, I want to know that too. Oh yeah, I think I forget something here. Can't quite remember what, though. Oh yeah, I noticed another exclamation mark, which means another side quest.
Hello.
Oh, it's just a reward for capturing the Yaku. And he has something more for us. We get 500 points. Now they want us to capture a bear off, so that'll be fun.
Good luck.
Landing the landslide wyvern. Easy enough, I suppose. I have played a good 2 Monster Hunter games, so I never got to touch Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, which I'm kinda... On one hand, I missed out on a classic, but on the other hand, I don't want to deal with the janky Plizzy-off hitbox. No. Go ahead and accept the Sinister Shadow in the Swamps. And we'll head on out. Just double checking to make sure that I have everything. Yep, looks good. Ah, water's so good. Yep, mega potions, regular potions, wet. Well, I already have an infinite whetstone. Wrong pipe. I will, see you there. Or wait, no. Okay, here we are.
He must have left some kind of trail.
Shouldn't take us too long to find the scholar. I didn't think to, harvest knollberries at all. Which in hindsight was probably not the smartest idea. But we'll be getting to a point where we can start growing stuff. You get access to it pretty soon. Although not as quickly as you did in other Monster Hunter games. I guess they want you to learn to scavenge for things before you can just grow them on your own. Which is a fair gameplay design choice. I was just getting the lay of the land. Back again with the poison hammer. Because I love the little damage over time. Even though it's not much. It just helps chip away at things. But pro tip, you never want to bring a poison elemental weapon to a capture quest. Because you don't want the poison damage tick almost, well, possibly killing the monster that you're looking for.
Wait, what's that there?
And we've got
Wait.
weird looking
What's going on
spikes.
with the scout flies?
Doesn't look like from any large monster we've ever seen. This right here is just so Metal Gear. I end up like sneaking around while the Baroth is just minding its own business. And the music even starts playing as well. I think the music changes whether a monster is in the area or not to build tension. Another nice little attention to detail. That thing that my scout flies just picked up was a paratoad. I think if you try to pick it up or if you walk into it, you'll get stunned. Although you can use this to your advantage because you can trick a monster into walking into a paratoad, and that'll paralyze the monster, allowing you to get a bunch of free damage on it. Oh gosh. Yeah, when a monster is near you, you just want to leave it alone. I don't know if the Baroth saw me right there, but it kind of looked like it did. Now that scholar's gotta be somewhere around here. They don't, like, spread out the mysterious scales a little bit, so you kinda have to go downstream, although they're not scales, they're actually spikes. Yeah, whatever monster that those spikes came from does not look friendly, I'd assume. Get some mite seeds so we can make demon drugs.
Is that the scholar? What's that he's sitting next to? It looks like a Baroth?
Ooh boy. Yeah, that's definitely a dead Baroth. And more spikes as well. Looks really unsettling.
God, don't let him find me. Don't let him find me. Oh, I saw it. No, the Juratotus, that didn't kill the Baroth. It was,
New target.
And with that, we have another new monster to fight. This one didn't cause the spikes from the looks of it, but It's definitely a threat, so let's take care of it.
You can put a water bite. That's gonna put a damper
With
on the
that
stamina.
out of the way, let's get to the stats of this monster. This monster's name is the Gyratotus. I'm sorry if I butchered that name. But its species is the Piscine Wyvern, so it's similar, well, it's in the same class as the Plesioth and the Lavasioth, if I remember correctly, yeah. For the stats, the habitat is only in the Wildspire Wastes, similar to the Baroth, however. The weaknesses are water when it has a muddy body and thunder when it has a clean body. However, there is no third weakness if you just want to get around that gimmick, so you're going to have to either pick one or the other. I would personally go with water since that's more of an accessible element, and if I'm not mistaken, you do get water elemental weapons from the Gyratotus itself. Thunder, we haven't encountered any thunder elemental monsters quite yet. The elements that it uses is just water, and it can also inflict you with water blight for ailments, and it also can inflict you with muddy as well, so it's just like the Baroth. For the breaks, you can break its head, body, legs, and tail. The tail swipes aren't that hard to deal with. The more concerning attacks, it will try and leap at you from out of the mud when it's swimming around in the mud. It's kind of similar to what the Diablos does, but not quite. The additional info for this monster, this is actually the first example we're going to see of this, and we're going to see many more of it. It's called Turf Wars, which is a new mechanic to Monster Hunter. So yeah, if two monsters do not like each other and they find each other in their turf, a special little scene will play out where one monster will fight the other, and then whoever loses that outcome will take damage from it. Now, the only thing I don't like about this mechanic is that one monster will always win over the other, where it's not like an even chance for either monster to win, although it makes sense ecological-wise, because one monster would have the advantage over another. I think it's a really cool mechanic that Monster Hunter really needed for a while, because you would have situations where two monsters would be in the same area at the same time, but they wouldn't necessarily fight each other all that much. So this just adds a lot more depth to Monster Hunter as a whole. As for other recommendations, I would really recommend that you bring Null Berries to, again, negate that water blight, because you don't want decreased stamina regeneration if you're using more stamina-heavy weapons. Overall, for this monster, I really do like the design. It's kind of like if Plesioth adapted to live in a more harsh and hot environment. And I like this spin on what a Plesioth would look like in this sort of environment. So yeah, that's all the info that I have for the Gyratodos. Let's get back to smashing this thing's head in, shall we? Overall, I find the Gyratodos to be an interesting monster, at least. It doesn't have that annoying hip check like the Plesioth did, and it doesn't have the water beam either, which is another good thing. You can see how the Baroth and the Gyratodos are in the same area now, so things will start to get a little more interesting. I always keep running into the mud, because it looks like platforms that you can stand on, but no. I guess it's not a big deal if you run out of null berries because you can just forage for more. There's that leaping attack that I was talking about earlier. If you get hit by that too much, you'll get stunned. There's Beavis with the Vigor Wasp. I should try some more feline gadgets. Right there, I got hit right in the face with mud as it was coming out, so I got inflicted with water blight again. Yeah, this thing definitely resembles the Pledgeoff and Lava Seoff. Doesn't take too much time to eat a nullberry. It can dash around the place too, so you might want a weapon with higher mobility than a hammer, like say a longsword or dual swords. I'd recommend dual swords if you want high mobility though, because that weapon's all about quick strikes. Here's a tip. Dual swords are generally used for, or more suited towards, faster monsters. Got our first knockdown. Here I try and go for as much stun damage as possible to get a knockout on the thing. Me having a hammer, I really can't cut off its tail all that much. Try and get it to come over here so I can mount it. It'll also do like, it's not quite death roll, but it'll just roll around. There I kind of panicked a little bit and I thought that shot would have hit me. It looked like it almost did though, to be honest with you. Get a good head hit there. And now it's poison, so there's that as well. I feel like I'm saying "as well" a lot. It's one of my catchphrases. And here, for some reason, the Gyrototus loses interest in me. And I'm like, no, I'm not done with you. Get back here. Apparently this Gyrototus has a slight case of the ABB. Oh boy, if that would have hit me, that would have not been good. Gyrototus' attacks are slightly damaging, but nothing too concerning to worry about. Obviously, you don't want to get hit by some of those pop-ups in a row, because that's not good. But we broke its head right there, so that's cool. Got a knockout. I don't know if I got that or if my feline got that. Can't wait to get an upgraded hammer so that I don't have to sharpen it as often.
Monsters are fighting each
And this is what I was talking about earlier. This is the turf war mechanic. Now here you just want to sit back and just watch. And the Gyrototus is like trying to choke the Baroth, but then the Baroth just throws him off. I tried to mount there, but I guess the detection was off. but I do get it right here. So typically you want to wait until the turf war animation is off before you do anything. But after that, there'll be like a couple second window for you to mount the monster if you have any elevation near it. When the screen turns red when you're mounting a monster, that means you should hold R2 to conserve stamina. It didn't prompt me to charge up a hammer swing that time, so I don't know what was going on there. Maybe the option wasn't available to Juratotus. Get a nice flip swing is what I want to call it. Yeah, flip swing. Does a good amount of damage. Especially a fully charged one. Yeah, like I said, there's plenty of nullberries around, so feel free to take a little bit of time to gather some before you chase the monster again. Because it's not going anywhere with the scout flies. Give it another knockout. Narrowly dodge that. I start to become more aware of where the mud spots are. Gosh, I love the sunset. Yeah, I felt a little dicey trying to sharpen that close to the monster. But it got distracted by my cat, so... There's that. I wonder how monster hunting would work in real life. Probably similar to real life hunting. That'd be freaky, just have a Rathalos, like, terrorize the streets of New York City. Just something to think about. Man, I'd love to have the skill. Well, it was unique to the Seregios, but when you would roll around, a weapon would sharpen itself. So like after a number of rolls, your weapon sharpness would increase, and it just saved on time. I would actually love it if the Seregios got added into Monster Hunter World. He would make a pretty good candidate, don't you think? Yeah. That dive, something that you want to be careful with. Also, there's the tail swipe. It doesn't come out very quickly, and it's easily telegraphed. And even if you do get hit by it, it doesn't do all that much damage. Generally, the more spammy monsters are the ones that you want to cut the tail off for. I go for a basic combo here just to build up the poison a little bit. I tanked that little tail swipe with the super armor that hammers give me during that two-part animation. If you're wondering, super armor character can't get interrupted during his attack animation. So it's very useful to just use the two-part hammer slam. Plus it's one of the more damaging moves that a hammer user can use. Here I run out of null berries, but it's not that big of a deal, really. Go in for another couple of big strikes. I think it's getting tired here. When a monster starts to get tired or starts to get weak, you just want to take the time to get as much of the footprints and markings that it leaves behind to get ecological data and the places where it likes to hunt and sleep. So that way you can easily find it again. It fell asleep, so I just took advantage of that and gave it a big old whack. I just love how satisfying it feels to bash a monster's skull in with this giant hammer. And with that, it's a done deal. That's one dead Juratotus, if I do say so myself. Carve it up. Let's see what we get. Fang. Fang. And scale. Pretty average. The more ecological data you can gather on the monster, the better, obviously. Because then you'll know every single little detail about the monster itself. And with that, that quest is done. Fine work, if I do say so myself. Juratotus scale. Aquasax. So yeah, it is a good source of aquatic weapons. I think I'll be making some Juratotus dual blades. Because that's a good DPS weapon. Maybe one of these days I should branch out into like bows and stuff. I used bows back in 3 Ultimate and 4 Ultimate a little bit. But I should maybe experiment just a little bit. Gotta love that loading screen. Variety of colors and symbols. Doesn't bore you. Hopefully my commentary doesn't bore you. I am getting better with commentary. Definitely. I've been looking back at my old videos and I sound a lot more confident than I did in the past.
Gather round, everyone. We're ready to begin. Thanks to you, we've made great strides towards understanding the tracks that have turned up across the continent.
Sounds interesting.
Our researchers have done some projections, and now we know where Zora Magdaros will go next.
Oh boy, sounds fun.
It's heading for the Great Ravine.
That's a new area that we haven't been to yet.
The huge valley out past the Wildspire?
Correct. So I have a proposition for all of you. I say we try and capture Zora once it gets there.
Bad idea.
Have you gone mad?
That's a bad idea.
Capture it.
Monster Hunter does not allow you to
The ravine is the perfect
capture
terrain
elder
for staging
dragons,
such an
so
event.
we probably already
Get a
know
better
how this
chance
is gonna
than
go. I mean, they haven't tried it themselves, but
If we don't take this opportunity, it could be a
hey, it's a
decade
first
before the next
for the Monster Hunter
opportunity presents
series.
itself. Maybe longer.
So why not take a stab at it?
Impossible.
If I said it wasn't, would that stop you?
Yeah, this is already a bad idea.
Let's give it a go. With the fifth supporting us,
I mean, the
our
thing is
chances are as
a
good as
size
ever.
of a small mountain.
Then
How are
it's
you going to capture
Before we
a
send the
thing
hunters out for
that
the
is
capture,
that
we need to
big?
secure Astera. An Anjanath has been active in the area. Not the kind of monster you toy around with. We'll need a plan for it.
Yeah. That is
You're
the
right.
next big monster that we're
Hunters,
going
you
to
have
go
your next
after
assignment.
before the
Take care
first
of that
Zora
Anjanath.
Magdaros
But be careful.
fight.
The Anjanath is a fearsome monster. One slip up and you're done.
That's why I have the
Commander,
bone
you'll
armor,
find
because
me.
the bone
I
armor
think I
has
have a great
fire
idea.
resistance. And I don't want to become a well-done
I could
hunter.
use your help. Drop by later if you will.
And the chief
Another
botanist
thing,
apparently wants
that
to see
troubling
us.
report we received. Think you could... Right. Good then.
That guy has
Let's
cool
get this
armor.
show on the road. We have an elder dragon to capture.
Again, bad idea.
Everyone
Very
dismissed.
bad idea. I already know how this is gonna go, even though I haven't seen it yet.
We should probably listen to what the chief botanist has to say before we do anything else.
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. So let's go and find him. He's right there.
Whoa.
Oh my, Anjanath is one nasty monster. You better make sure you go in doubly prepared. The reason why I called you over is we have a slight problem. You see, we're trying to develop some tools, specialized tools for hunters to be exact. But a Tobi Kadachi in the forest has been thwarting all our attempts to collect the materials we need. Do take care of it, will you? Here, take this. This is the first tool we've managed to complete. I hope you can find it useful, but only if you can take care of our little problem. And with that, we get the Ghillie Mantle. It's basically camouflage that we can use to hide from monsters if we don't want to deal with them. Oh boy. It's a rather useful tool. I've seen it in the trailer, so that's why I know of it. So specialized tools use the item wheel. Which makes sense, because you wouldn't want to scroll in the other...
Our next assignment is
item
to hunt
wheel.
Tobi Kadachi. We should be able to find it in the ancient forest.
The Tobi Kadachi hunt should be interesting. But let's just manage your inventory a little bit first. Mite seeds, god bug, and some honey while we're at it. I think that's all I want to do for inventory besides restocking. Always very useful to do. Alright, and with that, on this episode of Let's Play Monster Hunter World, we hunted a Juratotus and discovered some mysterious spikes. In the next episode, we will hopefully investigate more on the mysterious spikes and hunt our first Tobi Kadachi. See you guys next time. Ciao.